Another question she had, what are the color changing tools, especially the ones that will keep the texture? So if you looked at the tutorial that I had just last Monday, it was about the color replacer tool. And the color replacer tool here will replace one color by another color, but it just does not keep the texture or the shading for it. So for example, in this case, if I want to change, let's say the pants, let's say the shorts, I want to replace the green with some blue. I'll choose the blue that I want to use. Let's say I want to have this blue, and I want to replace the green. I have to pick a color that I want to use or to replace. So if I select this green here, click OK. There is a tolerance value here on top. So if I have a low tolerance value, the closer to the green that it is, then it will make it blue. So if I brush on it, you can see that it didn't change that much. I'll zoom in. Okay, well, if I increase the tolerance, I'll grab more greens, but notice I even got some in the blue. Let's undo this. So I would have to go with maybe smaller brush, try to brush, but again, it does not get all the green. It will depend on the tolerance value. And if you pay much attention, there's no shading at all. So the blue becomes like a solid color. No texture, no shading, nothing. So this is not great for this kind of project where you would want to change the color, because it will really change only the exact pixels by the exact color that you selected. It would work, however, if you are using something that is solid. So for example, if I want to change this blue, so instead of the green, I'm going to select the blue, and I would like to make it red. So for the new color is going to be red. Then if I brush, no problem. There's no texture there. That is perfect. So if you have really solid colors, the color replacer is a good tool to use. On the other hand, you might want to use change to target. Change to target will change whatever color you are brushing on by the color that you have here as a foreground. So I'm just going to change not too red. So if I brush on the yellow, it would, okay. I think I have my brush here to set the pressure, that's why. So wherever I brush, but it does not limit itself to the actual color. So it's more going to be a brush or painting job. I'm going to go and on this, I'm going to paint, and you can see how it's going to change to the right color, or at least the color that I want, where I brush. If I go too far, it's going to paint everything else. And I can change the hardness. It has nothing to do with, there's no tolerance value really. So you just have to paint wherever you want it. You want the color replaced. One thing you'll notice is that right now I have red. Let's say that I want to make it darker. Maybe I want to have a darker red. It does not seem to change. Basically, what it's going to do is it's going to replace by the matching hue. So in this case, it's going to be the hue is 255. Whether I go more saturated, lighter, darker, the hue is actually the factor that's going to be taken into consideration. So if I want to have it darker, well, I'll have to use a different tool. But right now, at least this will allow me to keep all the texture that is there. So if I want to change, for example, the little dress to blue, I can change that to blue. But then everywhere I brush is going to turn blue. And you can see the effect. You can see it keeps the shading, although everything will be blue, light blue, dark blue, but it's still going to be blue everywhere. So I hope that helps. And it's really cool, but you have to be precise because if you go over, the grass is going to turn blue. Or the skin is just going to turn blue if you are not careful to go around. So those are the two tools that will allow you to change the color of a certain area of your image. Of course, you can use the colorize if you want to have everything turn blue, including the grass and the skin and the water and everything. But that's typically not what you would want, especially if you're working with a photo. If you're working with some kind of a vector format or vector looking design, well, you can always use your magic wand and select RGB, and you can select the color. In this case, everything is not contiguous, so everything green that matches will be selected, and then I can use my brush tool and say, okay, I'm going to change the letters in the name, but I'm not going to change somewhere else. Okay. So that was for the color replacing tool. Hey there! I hope you found this information helpful. If you're curious to dive deeper and explore more about PaintShop Pro, we've got a wealth of resources waiting for you in our membership area. There, you'll find in-depth classes, workshops, Q&A sessions, and much more to help you enhance your PaintShop Pro and digital scrapbooking skills. Feel free to check it out. The link is in the video description below. Thanks for watching and see you in the campus!